Hello and welcome back to the Funday podcast, the official podcast of Wild Wild West Fantasy Baseball League. Today, I'm joined by my co-host, Alan Orms. What's up, Alan?
Glad to be here as always. Excited for this one.
Thank you, buddy. And today we are joined by our regular season champion, Henry Winklehake.
Can't let
He's repping the hat. What's up, Henry?
Yeah. Can't leave any doubt.
Good to have you, Henry. Let's start off the same way we do with everybody else. What's going on in your life outside of baseball?
So I have this infant that lives with me now. This guy Liam is about 8.5 months old now, which is kind of gone by in a blur, man. It's been great for the most part. It's unlike anything I can possibly compare it to, which is, I know what everyone pretty much says when they're talking about having kids, but he's lived up to the hype and then some. So lots of Liam time, working, and a lot of draft prep too, of course. We're 11 days out from Christmas Day, so that's taking what little free time I have as a lot of draft prep, a lot of crunching the numbers, putting the rankings together, looking at a bunch of different sources, getting ready to hopefully kick some butt.
Very nice. And just to confirm, is Liam a cat or a human baby?
Liam is a human baby. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Chuck kind of led us to believe he was talking about adopting human Asian babies in that episode, which I was up to. Just a fantastic episode all around. Shout out to you gentlemen too for a great job hosting, and not just that episode, but all of them. This has been an amazing series to follow along with.
Appreciate it. Glad people are enjoying it. It's been fun to make. All right, let's talk ball. Henry, you were our regular season champion in 2022, posting the highest regular season win percentage in league history. But ultimately, you fell short in the playoffs, losing to Nikki in a really heartbreaking fashion. Can you tell us how it feels and if the results of last season change your strategy at all going into 2023?
Yeah, that's a big question. A couple parts there. I'll start with the positive that it felt obviously really, really good to be regular season champion. That is something I don't think I've ever done in my 10 plus years of this league, which is counting the pre-Wild West years too. But I've always been something of a slow starter, usually coming out with an 0-4 start is what I'm known for, and then kind of picking it up and getting going throughout the year. So it was a little different to come out hot right out of the gate and ride that all the way to the regular season champion. So that was amazing. I loved that part, and obviously felt like I put together a really great team. I think, you said the best regular season record in league history. I think those results kind of speak for itself. It was, I think, a really, really strong roster, which then makes the fall and the playoffs that much more heartbreaking, as you alluded to. And I know Nikki said he's looking forward to hearing how I talk about it, and he knows what I'm going to say, because I think anyone who looks at it knows that it was a fluke situation. I mean, he got it done. He got the results to move on to the next round, but just the way it happened with 2 Luis Renifo bombs on 5, 6 o'clock, whatever it was, Sunday, when I really thought I had it in the bag. Not to mention Christian Bethancourt chipping in a bomb as well, which I know Nikki's rebuttal is he had a bad pitching week, but we were talking a little bit in the group me the other day. I don't think that is at all comparable to what I went through that Sunday afternoon, which kind of put me in a dark place for a little bit. It was tough to stomach just the way it all went down, and feeling like the lesser squad made it through to the championship, but maybe he got what he deserved, ultimately falling short in the championship. I don't want to be too hateful, spiteful, and say I was rooting for that or anything, but I think he should have just been happy to be there.
Yeah, Henry, I hate to say it, but I was pretty happy about those Rengifo bombs because I did not want to face you at all. I think you had the best team in the league last year, and I think if I faced you, you'd have both the Cowboy hat and the Cowboy Cup. So,
And then could have taken home the whole pot as that new rule we put in last year, which I think is a great rule. I think anyone that does that should definitely have the opportunity to take home the full winnings, but ultimately was not in the cards last year. And only direction is forward. I don't really feel like I have too much to switch up in terms of draft prep or strategy. It was a great team last year. I hope to be able to largely run that back and maybe just get a little bit better luck on Sunday in the playoffs this time.
sure, there's always some factor of luck in it for sure. Do you think it's possible though that this was a curse? It wasn't just luck because you have yet to fulfill your debt of marrying a man. Is that be why?
I had not thought about it, but there's a chance that that did play a role. And yeah, maybe I should have married a man after all. I love Lauren. She's an amazing wife, but you know, if it could have avoided being cursed, maybe you should have gone about it differently.
Karma is truly a real thing, and it is so real. I believe in it so much.
I was wondering what you were going to say I was cursed for, but that adds up.
All right, Henry. So we have a question here submitted from our non-sneeches, and his question for you is: has becoming a father changed your fantasy baseball management?
Oh, no, I don't really think so. I was still checking my phone, trying to put together some trade offers, checking game results while we were in the hospital with Liam. So maybe there's a little bit less free time here and there, but I'm I'd like to think I'm built different and that I'm something of a grinder to where I'm gonna find that time. I'm gonna find that edge no matter what it takes. And I mean, if anything, maybe I'm a little bit more hungry and trying to put food on the table for my son with all of your all's entry fees.
There you go. So would you think one day along way down the road when we're in Wild West V25, let's say, would you have Liam as your co-manager, or would you have him join our league?
I mean, I'd be open to both of those options. I don't know which I would put a preference to, which I definitely want him to have that experience in some capacity. Maybe we start as a co-manager, kind of build him up. I hope that there's a Wild West Junior League at some point. We get some other kids in the picture here, and maybe Liam can beat up on him, having a little bit more of a head start in terms of experience. But I guess age isn't always such an advantage there, as Austin Hardley has demonstrated. But sorry, that was kind of a cheap. But I mean, I'd like Liam to be an expansion team in the league too.
Okay.
That feels so mean. I'm sorry, Austin.
I like to imagine Colton is waiting on the wait list for the next like 20 years. And then all of a sudden we just let Liam jump him and he gets into the league before Colton.
Yeah, I mean, I love Colton, but I don't even know how much of a baseball fan he really is. But I guess I don't really know how much of a baseball fan Liam is at this point either. So maybe they're on a level playing field there. Colton and my newborn baby.
Liam rocks more MLB than Colton, that's for sure. He's Cubs out.
He will be a Cubs fan if I have my way. That would, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be like too aggressive of a dad and like tell him what he has to root for, but I'm certainly going to be trying to influence him that way.
All right, Henry, let's get into your hypothetical question for the week. We're going to stick with the Liam theme here. Hypothetically, he's been kidnapped, and you must lead a team of 3 other league members to retrieve your son in a Liam Neeson Taken style raid. So, which 3 league members will you choose and why?
He just started crying as you were reading that question. So I think he's upset at the possibility of being kidnapped, which for good reason. And I like the Liam Neeson connection too, with Liam Winklehake being the kidnapped kid here in question. But which 3 league members would I take to get back Liam? Man, I was not prepared at all to answer that one. I don't know how I would have been. 3 league members to get back Liam. Man, that's a tough one. Oh, I feel like I need some kind of like crazy wild card factor, someone that's going to lay it all out there. Which, after seeing his hold yourself accountable response, I think it's hard not to think of Q as kind of a wild card. So Q's kind of got some crazy in him, and we've linked up for a trade or two over the years. So I trust Q to be on my side, help me get back Liam. So I'll say Q. Um, you know, I think everyone in the league would just tell you that Graham Barry is Mr. Reliable. You need something done, you can pick up the phone, count on Graham. So I think I'd include Graham in the squad too. Great guy, that Graham Barry. And I kind of feel like I will go with Dawson as my number 3 here. He's certainly has experience hunting children down as he slithers his long body through the woods. So if Liam's in the woods, it's game over. We're getting him back, no doubt. But Dawson is also a very good friend and a homie, in addition to being Slender Man. So he has a unique set of abilities in his own right. So I think he would track that baby down.
That was really.
That was a good answer.
I was not like, I just came to me at the last second. I'm like, oh yeah, Dawson. He's a good one.
All right, so Henry, there's been quite a bit of chatter in the group me about Carlin and Q being your quote unquote farm system because of these lopsided rapages. Absolutely disgusting. So what do you have to say about these trades? And honestly, how can I get in on that action?
Well, I'll laugh at the end part there, but I certainly do not laugh at the notion as a whole. I'm a big, free trade, free enterprise guy. I was a proponent of getting rid of vetoes back in the day when that was still a thing. And perhaps the critics may say that was so that I could, get whatever trades I so-called, for my farm system, whatever that the haters want to say. But ultimately, folks can run their teams however they see fit. And if that is making a deal with me, then I'm all for it, of course. I really don't know what to say other than that. We come to agreement, we negotiate often. It's I think, maybe a little bit of not like calling someone out publicly for their trades. That might help when it comes time to go and negotiate with someone. If there's all this talk about, oh, Q makes terrible trades, why would, he turn around and want to trade with you all? I think you all maybe need to work the public relations a little bit better.
So are these trades being received or sent? Are you sending the trades to them or are they coming to you? I mean,
I feel like they typically go both ways.
Interesting.
That was possibly the most scripted answer we've ever gotten on the podcast. He knew that question was coming clearly. I saw his eyes going back and forth reading the screen on that. That was.
Got a teleprompter set up here, actually.
Yeah.
Well, on the topic of scripted answers, I forgot to give one while you asked how life was going. I did have one in mind. And when I talked about being a dad, I wanted to say that it really has been a pretty easy transition because I've been fathering most of this league for the better part of a decade. But sorry, I didn't really get that one in when I wanted to say it, but I had to circle back.
Yeah, we
have credit.
All right, so we're gonna just go ahead and wrap things up a bit, and just go ahead and finish off with your bold predictions for this year.
I tried to script a response to this one and kind of struggled with it because I don't know what to say in terms of bold predictions. I thought of a couple ones that aren't super bold. Namely, I think that the playoffs will continue to be dominated by Sneetches, but that's hardly bold because it pretty much happens every year. But if I could see a scenario where 2 non-Sneach teams make it into the playoffs, which no surprise to anyone. I would count Brock as one of those teams. He's a perennial playoff team. Brock is always there, but I kind of have a sneaking suspicion that I took a shot at him earlier in the show, but I think Austin Hardley makes it in this year. I think he's got pretty good picks, and he's shown, I think, some growth over the years, despite not getting into the playoffs quite yet. I don't think maybe 2020, but that year's that's out of my mind. But yeah, I think Austin sneaks in, which then would leave one Sneach on the outside looking in. And this is going to sound maybe like retaliation, since I know he came at me a little bit in his episode, but Connor Taylor would be my pick for the for the Sneach, if there was a Sneach that doesn't make the playoffs, which, I'm not saying it's like a given or anything. No way Connor makes the playoffs, but I think maybe his picks are just a tier below. And, maybe he's just an average in-season manager. Is that how he put it? I took offense to that one. That kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So, I mean, yeah, this may seem like petty retaliation, but I can see Connor not making it. But elsewhere, in terms of bold predictions, which isn't really super bold either, but I don't think we'll have a single starting pitcher drafted in the top 30. That doesn't seem super bold the way our league has been going in recent years. I think that's all I had in terms of. No. I have one more bold prediction that I thought of. I think we see the first repeat last place finisher. Not going to be me. I'm not saying consecutively and that it has to be Orms, but I think someone that came in last place before will be in last place again.
Can I take a guess?
Sure.
Quentin.
That's, I think that's an option for sure. But I think you might be there fighting with them, Alan.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, what makes you say that? Can I get an explanation?
It's been a rough few years for you now. So I know you won the title in 18, right? Along with the Red Sox. Maybe it's all Red Sox related, that the Red Sox not so great now and your team's kind of followed suit. But I think you've got something to prove for sure.
Yeah, my stock is down like the whole fucking market. So you know what? We'll see. Honestly, I'm feeling hopeful. I'm not gonna fucking, be shaking in my boots the whole season. I'm definitely coming for a vengeance. I'm coming to get all of you.
You don't have bad picks either, and neither does Quentin, really. I know everyone gets on that one trade we made, and Dawson cried and wanted to leave the league, apparently. But neither you nor Quentin, I think, have very bad picks, which, I mean, y'all haven't made a whole bunch of trades, so it can only be so bad, right? But that's half the battle.
So are we ever going to finish our deal here, Henry? We've been going back and forth for what seems like months now.
I don't think so. I mean, I feel like trading is largely done, which is sad. I know we're usually switching picks all the way up until draft day, but it's been like 9-10 days now since the last deal, which there were a lot of trades this year. So maybe everybody kind of just got to where they wanted to be. But no, I wouldn't rule out you and I getting something done, but I don't know. It was a lot of effort on both ends for not getting anywhere.
No, I agree. I mean, I just don't want to be a farm team. So I'm not about to just let you have your way. So that's just most of the reason why we couldn't come to terms. But
I hear you.
I'm excited to see how things play out with our live draft pick trading. That I'm very interested to see what kind of crazy deals are going to be concocted.
I think there's definitely going to be some desperation, kind of like, I'm 5-10 picks away. Let me trade up, get my guy, and I'll give you maybe more than you otherwise would have gotten if it wasn't an in-draft pick. So in addition to that, just like an in-person draft in general, I think is going to be such a game changer.
For sure. Henry, I wanted to circle back on something you mentioned earlier about no pitchers in the top 30. You and I have historically been early pitching drafters, and we've had a lot of success. I don't know. I just want to get your thoughts on that. Do you think that getting the best starting pitchers breeds better teams, or what do you think?
I think historically there's some truth to that, and maybe just having a more balanced roster overall than some of the league apparently cares to build. So I don't want to like completely sleep on the value of pitching, but it does seem like the environment's changed a little bit. We're no longer in the juiced ball era to where those elite starting pitchers are really standing out in quite the same way they were. Feel like there's kind of a larger middle class at pitcher these days. I don't plan on making it as big of a priority as I have in years past, and kind of just seeing the way the league has gone year after year, where pitchers are getting pushed back later and later. It's like, why would I take good pitchers early when you can get Sandy Alcantara, Julio Urias in like the 80s or whatever it was last year?
That's fair.
Getting real with y'all here, talking a little draft strategy.
Do you have Cartland's picks? Could you share any of those with us?
I do not. I almost wanted to lie and say that I do, but yes, I have Carlin's picks, and I've already shared them with everyone.
Yeah, we all do. Nikki sent them out earlier, so.
Yeah.
Hey, I've got a question for you guys, considering your status in Sneechhood. How much shit do y'all talk about non-Sneeches in the Sneech Me?
There's a good bit of it, I would say, but it's not like a constant topic of conversation. It almost kind of goes without saying on some level. You know, you're there, you're a Sneech. Lions don't lose sleep over the opinions of sheep, they say.
Mm-hmm. Great analogy.
But yeah, no, there's some chirping here and there. Won't lie to you.
Like when you all make a really bad deal, like we'll go in there and we'll be like, "What the fuck is Orms doing?" Other than that, we more talk about ourselves. We're more beating our own chests, I'd say.
Right. And then is there like insider trading information being shared? Are you all lifting each other up to suppress the lower class?
You know, I don't even really know how to describe it. It's just kind of just this transcending feeling that, you're among the fantasy baseball elite, and I don't know, I almost kind of just black out, and I'm just so happy to be a Sneech that who knows what's happening. But apparently the insider information is exchanged on Xbox Party Chat these days. Nikki wants to run and tell everyone that Henry's trying to move pick 34 and he's going to get to the bottom of it. Happy birthday, Nikki.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Nikki. Happy birthday, Graham. Happy birthday, Coach. Who am I missing?
Brock.
Happy birthday, Brock. When's everybody's numbers? It's Graham, Nick, Coates, and then Brock?
No, it's Graham yesterday, Nikki today. I think Brock either tomorrow or the 16th, and then me on the 18th.
Gotcha. Sweet.
Big birthday.
Super excited for our Saturday fun day.
Glad it's going to be indoors now, too. I do think that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's going to be a cold one for sure. Well, Henry, is there anything that you wanted to tell the people before we sign off?
Yeah, I'll hold myself accountable. I've been trying to think of something good to lay on the line here. So this is probably enough as is that if I miss the playoffs, I won't be in the group me for 4 days, 4 whole days. I know you were drinking your water right there. I'm surprised you didn't spit take. No, in addition to that, if I don't make the playoffs, I will clean the car of every single playoff team.
Wow.
We don't need to worry about that anyways, because it takes a global pandemic and a 6-week season for me to miss the playoffs. That's the only time it's ever happened. So,
is that a full wash and detail?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be like my amateur version of detail, or I'll clean the inside and the outside, but I don't know like how professionally we're going to define this, but I will clean, hypothetically, I will clean the inside and the outside of the car, but again, I don't think it's going to come to that.
Okay. Well, if you're so confident, you want to wear a bikini too?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. There we go. We're making deals already. Come on.
And chug a half gallon of milk.
Yes.
All right, write it down, Coach. Keep it in the notes.
I got it. All right. Thanks for joining us today, Henry. Best of luck to you this season. Look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Yes, sir. And draft day in 11 days.
Merry
Can't
Christmas.
wait. Thanks, Orms.
Later, guys.
See you.